Hello, everybody. Many people asked me what browser I use to manage all my characters. So today I like to showcase the browser I used to play Flyff Universe for, now for 2.5 years, I guess. It is called Flyff Universe Browser, and it is made by a childhood friend of mine who does coding and programming for a living. Online he goes by the name, the alias of Space Dose. You can get the browser on GitHub for free. It is open source. You can look at all the files, and there's no risk in your data being leaked somewhere. I will put the link into the description. Before we start, it is completely legal to use this or any other browser which was many times confirmed by the mods and GMs. Many people ask this on Discord a lot of times because there's actually a lot of browsers that are very similar to this. And a lot of people use them. Nobody has been banned ever. There's no complaints. And the GMs and mods also said it's completely fine to use on your own risk. But since this is open source, there's no risk at all to it. Yeah, even some people bringing up the great argument that it is a third-party software, but stuff like Google Chrome or Mozilla Firefox are also third-party softwares. Neither Gala nor WeMate owns these companies, of course. So by that logic, all browsers would be third-party apps. So don't listen to any haters that tell you that. Okay, let's get into the browser. The first time you start up, you are greeted by this screen. It says use your mouse wheel to split the screen, right click client for more infos. You can just click the plus for now. Obviously, you spawn the first time without these 8 tabs I already have. If you press the plus, you get an unnamed tab. Press it, and then you get greeted by this screen. You can make a guest character, or you can just sign in, use your email. You get this thing first. You can accept it all or save your settings, whatever you want. And then you type in your name and your data. Um, okay, once you're logged in, you just choose your server of your choice. I'm just gonna go with Tademia, which is my home server. Then you create your character. Let's say I go by this name, and we start. And now we have to click this bullshit again. And then you're in the game. Um, the first time you start, the browser has you as a name, but after some time it gets your name in. It says here now my character name is saved automatically. You can still change this later, like you can change this to knight or whatever class you want to play instead of the character name. If you want to do that, just right click on it and press the settings thingy. You get jumped into this, and then you can rename it to Vagrant, let's say. Go back, and now it's called Vagrant. You can also access the settings by pressing the wheel from here. Then you have a bit of more settings you can press on or change. Each tab has its own cookie storage, meaning you only ever log in this one character and don't have to go through random characters anymore until the one you want is being logged in. So if I close this now, we obviously have to wait 10 seconds. Um, it will only ever log in this character, not any of my other characters. You can see there's only this one in the storage saved. And yeah, it also means that all the settings you have, for example, you have very extreme media settings on your main character, but you want to have low settings for your ringmaster, for example. You can set this up like this, extreme on this one, and then go completely low on the other one, and it will save settings you have for each storage separately. Yeah, I have a few characters logged in already. You saw my mentalist a second ago. For example, on this mentalist, I do play Siege, so I do zoom out a lot. I have different graphic settings than, for example, on my Elementor here, on my Arcanist. Um, Simply because all these spells are so flashy, so you turn them off, mostly playing on Arcanist. You can also open up 5 tabs, up to 5 tabs at the same time. This will mess with your RAM a bit, so if you don't have a strong computer, I wouldn't recommend doing it that much. But if you have I mean, my computer is already 7 years old and it's still managing really good with all these. You can choose the size of each tab you have, basically. You can go this if you want, but you can also go this. Then you just click on the ones you want to have where you want to have them. I have my blade now here. You can see it's lagging now a bit because I have so many tabs open. But after some time it evens out, and if you use your mouse wheel, you can go one less, you can go two less, you can go just one, whatever you want. And yeah, I use this mostly to be able to uh, use my ringmaster and my leveler or active character at the same time. Um, yeah, be careful. This now, if you move around the stuff a lot, your screens, your buffs get moved around with them. So I wouldn't recommend using that too much. So always try to stay on the same size. If I'm playing on a specific setup, I close this so I don't have to see it anymore. Right now I have my ringmaster and my arcanist active. With this setup, you have 2 screens in the front, so I can always use GT if I want. I can use it while I'm doing other stuff here on my Arcanist. You can see I'm just pressing GTs, Hero whatever I want. Uh, Great Arcanist back here, thanks. And then you can just do whatever the fuck you want while leveling. Yes, and you can also heal. You can press Hero while you're pressing other skills. It's much easier than going around in tabs. And you can also like buff while you're leveling and attacking mobs. You can just yeah, be creative with what you want to do. This is how I this is the setup I most of the time use. Just main character in the big screen and then the ringmaster. Even I usually even use a smaller screen in that because all I do is use GT. Yeah, because obviously the higher level you don't really need healing anymore. With all the lifesteal you get. On this Arcanist I have max lifesteal, so I just use a single spell and I'm max health again. But obviously in the early game, when you don't have lifesteal yet, or you're just not as strong, so you're not healing as much, you kind of need the healing even on a mage. And this is a great way of playing mage while also healing. Yeah, you can also use it to HC while envy leveling. You can also pop out the screen by pressing this button. It won't record, but you can do it. And then if you have a second screen, you can have it on your second screen. That's why I set 5 screens at the same time. You can only have 4 active on this screen, and then you pop out the 5th screen using this option. You can also mute every single tab or unmute it if you want. I don't have any sound on in the game anyway, so I don't really use it. Yeah, back in the day, I used it to do 4 clockworks at the same time. I opened this thing like this and had all my 1v1 characters open in one of the screens and just clicked the clockworks. the life steal was enough to just kill it without ever healing, but you could just uh, watch them do it for all the time if you wanted to. Yeah, another small tip from me is if you press Alt plus Enter, you go into window mode or full screen mode, whatever you prefer. I would always suggest, like recommend to go in full screen mode while you're playing, but if you stop playing or you want to minimize the game, you have to go Alt Enter and then you can minimize or close the game. Um, you can also go rid of the tab bar below by just pressing the arrow here. It goes up and down however you want to. I do have this down most of the time when I'm playing. I have it only up when I'm playing, I'm doing stuff on all characters, which is, for example, turning in daily quests. Um, run with all 8 characters to one NPC and clicking the NPC to turn in the quest. Obviously, you have to go through each character to also put the quest in. Um, yeah, if you want to prefer for FWC, you can log in all your characters and then have them sit until the server goes live. Um, just open the tab and put in your login again. And once you do that, and once you're logged in, you can just stay in this screen. And as long as you press remember my login, every time you open this tab again, you will be put into the screen. Once FWC goes live, there will be a third thing after Asia. It goes event and shows FWC server only, so there's only one server then. And you can just go instantly into the character creation without putting in your password again and just start playing. So it saves you a bit of time, a bit of trouble maybe, and yeah, it's a huge quality of life just using a browser that has these options for you. Obviously, there's many other browsers that have this, but I use this one. I'm very happy with it. And yeah, that's mostly it for me today. I hope you're having fun and see you next time.